Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, one person has been found following the U.S. military aircraft crash off of the Japanese coast. 6 were believed to be on board.
Plus, the Coast Guard is looking for 4 men who went missing in the Mississippi River.
Well, with Christmas right around the corner, it looks like fall temperatures are finally here to stay in Oxford. And with that, we actually have some strong winds heading our way, so make sure to stay tuned for your full forecast. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Alexia Anderchek.
And I'm Reagan Settle. Well, today is our last Wednesday show of the semester. Alexia, how are you feeling?
I'm so sad. I'm not ready for this Wednesday cruise to say goodbye just yet. How are you feeling?
I'm really going to miss you over winter break.
I'm going to miss you too. Oh, we have one more week until our Christmas break and the weather is starting to feel like the holiday season.
That's right. Let's check in with weather anchor Seth Parento to take a look at quick look at today's conditions.
Thanks, girls. As it stands right now, we are looking at a current temperature of 54 degrees here in Oxford with mostly clear skies and a slight breeze. I'll have more on this evening's conditions later on, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Back to you at the desk.
One person has been found following the U.S. military Osprey crash off of the coast of Japan. A local fishing vessel helping the Japan Coast Guard found the individual. This is the first of 6 individuals to be found. The U.S. military has called the Yakushima Airport Management Office to request an emergency landing in Kagoshima. There is no current information on the individual's condition as the Japanese Coast Guard continues their search. The search for crew members reported missing from a bulk carrier vessel in the Mississippi River area has been called off. The Mississippi Coast Guard was alerted of 4 men potentially lost in the water in the New Orleans area Monday night around 11 p.m. The crew members are still missing and believed to be of Bangladesh nationality. The incident is still under investigation.
Over the holiday weekend, traffic seemed to be a big issue for those traveling. In Nashville, people were seen getting out of their cars and walking on the interstate to make their flights. Reporter Hannah McDonald has more on the Nashville airport.
The airport's growth has not been a welcome for some folks because of that.
It seems traffic is beginning to taint the transformation of Nashville International Airport.
You're doing fine.
The other day, my partner and his family flew out for Thanksgiving, and it took them nearly 45 minutes just to go across the bridge there at the interstate because of the traffic.
The council member for this part of Donaldson says the community is concerned about the construction at the airport. For the most part, this traffic stems from the ongoing projects, like the major work on Donaldson Pike. That particular construction required the airport to move waiting areas next to the terminal to a lot 3 miles away. While it's used by some people, most people just circle the airport. As recently as Sunday night, our cameras captured people bailing the backups on I-40 and walking to the terminal.
It's really not a good look for our city. It's really not safe to have people walking down the side of the road to get to the airport.
If you can, carpool to the airport, or there's also a WeGo bus that leaves from the downtown station and goes to the airport about once an hour.
However, city leaders say the responsibility shouldn't all be on passengers.
We've got to get TDOT involved, whether it's having them getting onto the airport about this, or maybe TDOT and the Highway Patrol maybe needs to get out there when they know it's going to be this busy and do the special signage or have officers out there to kind of help, with the flow of traffic. There's something that's got to be done to make this better for the next 4 years.
Here in Lafayette County, 24-year-old Kylan Phillips, arrested for murder, has been formally charged and is being held on a $2 million bond. Lafayette County Sheriff's Department deputies responded to a 911 call on Thanksgiving about an unresponsive female involved in a domestic assault. The victim was later identified as Bailey Mae Reed, who was found dead inside the residence. Phillips was later arrested and was charged with Reed's murder on Monday. A GoFundMe has been created to help Reed's family fly her body home.
On a sweet note, an Ole Miss freshman is spreading awareness for blindness with specially made cookies. Sarah Harmon is a baker who has been blind since birth. On November 10th, she used mini M&Ms and icing to make cookies with Braille. The cookies were made, said words like joy and love. She got this idea when she thought about how often cookies are decorated with print, but she had never seen any with Braille. She worked with Rebel Market's executive chef, Michael Bernard, to put this plan into motion.
As mentioned before, Ole Miss, along with other universities, are gearing up for Christmas break. Lafayette County is also getting ready for the holiday season.
Yes, Reagan, starting on December 1st, the Holiday Village will be opened at the Gertrude C. Ford Center for the Performing Arts.
And through December 16th, everyone is invited to come and enjoy all of the free activities provided. There will be gingerbread houses designed by community members and civic groups, a miniature village, holiday-themed Lego houses, a mailbox for Santa, and much more.
The Holiday Village supports local food banks and encourages visitors to bring non-perishable food items to donate. Are you ready for the holidays to come around? Because I sure am.
Absolutely. I'll be heading to London for Christmas break.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Maybe I'll come and join you. Who knows? Well, coming up after the break, we have new information about the military pause happening in Gaza as more hostages are being released.
Plus, the first meeting of the NATO-Ukraine Council is being called historic, as NATO chief says Ukraine is moving closer. These stories and more after the break.
Hey, Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Because picking up litter costs us time
and money.
MDOT spends $3.2 million a year picking up litter.
That's money that could be used to maintain roads and bridges,
patch potholes,
and focus on improving Mississippi's infrastructure. Please help us help you.
We can't do it without you.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. According to two sources close to the matter, a sixth set of hostages is scheduled to be freed by Hamas today. This will be the second release during the extension of the truce between the militant group and the Israeli military. Reporter John Lorenk has more.
Tears, hugs, and smiles from family and friends for the dozens of hostages released by Hamas over the past few days. That includes 9-year-old Emily Hand, who was held captive for 7 weeks.
It was beautiful, just like I imagined it, running together. I probably squeezed too hard.
During the halt in military action between Israel and Hamas, some much-needed supplies are being brought into Gaza.
Additional flights are expected in the coming days, and this aid is in addition to the more than 500,000 pounds of food assistance delivered by the United States last week.
But this relative calm in the Gaza region may not last much longer.
We are committed to completing our missions, freeing all of the hostages, eliminating this terrorist organization above and below ground, and of course, to ensure that Gaza not return to being what it was.
Democratic Senator Peter Welch of Vermont says the ceasefire expiring would be a, quote, grave mistake. But few of his colleagues from either party agree.
Israel's going to follow the rules of war, the law of war. We need to stand solidly behind them, and the administration needs to keep putting their foot on the accelerator and getting the American hostages and all the hostages that remain out.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The first meeting of the NATO-Ukraine Council has been named historic by NATO Chief Jens Stoltenberg. At the press conference, Stoltenberg explains that Ukraine is moving closer to NATO and will need the support of its membership.
This meeting demonstrates that Ukraine is moving closer and closer to NATO, and at the meeting we will discuss how we can support your path towards NATO membership. All allies agree that Ukraine will become a member of the alliance, and we need now to discuss the path forward, the reform efforts, and how NATO can support you in implementing those reforms.
Ukraine's foreign minister also spoke, saying that Europe would not be able to defend itself without the aid of Ukraine.
It will not be an exaggeration to say that defending Europe without Ukraine is a futile task. You cannot do it simply for one simple reason, because we currently have the strongest and the most battle-hardened army in Europe.
Earlier this week, NATO Chief Stoltenberg praised President Zelensky for his leadership and heroism of the Ukrainian armed forces. According to Zelensky, Ukraine is gradually gaining ground in its hard-fought counteroffense.
A co-founder of Students for Trump allegedly grabbed and hit a woman across her forehead with a firearm. Ryan Fournier was arrested and charged for the assault on November 21st. He was released later that day on a $2,500 bond. His court appearance is set to happen in Johnston County, North Carolina on December 12th. A new iPhone feature has law enforcement agencies warning about potential safety concerns. The latest update includes an easy way to transfer contact information by holding two phones right on top of each other. Reporter Madison McName explains why parents should keep a close eye on this update.
Apple rolling out its latest operating system update, iOS 17, with a new feature, Name Drop.
Bringing devices together.
At face value, it seems like an easy way to share a phone number or address. Just hold the top ends of phones together.
Without their permission, so to speak, the update was made and the name drop is toggled on for all iPhone users, and maybe that was a mistake.
But Lentz, a safety expert and former police officer, says the risk does not keep him up at night. The feature does ask for consent before receiving and sharing a contact card, though canceling a request is not as simple as it may seem.
It can be confusing, and as a parent, I would go into my settings. It's very easy to do on any iPhone device or Apple device. You go to Settings, you go to General, you go to AirDrop, and then you toggle off Name Drop or data sharing for that device.
The safety issue here is really around kids. Prince George Police putting out this message. We are mainly concerned for the safety of your children who may not exercise the degree of care and caution that an adult would. It's a new push to bring awareness for parents whose children have iPhones.
Whether it's Facebook or Instagram or any other of these social media apps, and they're constantly changing your permissions. And if you don't read them carefully, and very few people do, it opens up other gateways that are of true concern.
Portland now has a new designated facility for those in homeless shelters looking for asylum. According to Maine officials, the facility is 16,000 square feet with 179 beds for individuals. It's set aside to offer services that cater to migrants in particular.
And this doesn't just help asylum seekers. The people who will be here will be single adult asylum seekers, but this frees up space in the other shelter for other homeless people who are sleeping outside. Will now have a safe place inside this winter.
Doritos has created a new AI software that silences chewing noises for gamers. The chip company is hoping to cancel noisy crunching using artificial intelligence. The technology was trained by recording more than 5,000 crunch sounds so that the software would be able to detect and mute it. The software is intended for gamers playing with others so that the snacking doesn't interrupt the team's performance. but it may be hoping that this eventually will work on phone calls or better yet, in person.
Closer to Christmas and last-minute shopping is expected, but tree farms are urging people not to let their Christmas tree be the last thing they buy. Due to changes in the industry and dry weather, many farms are experiencing shortages this season. Alex Love has more on this story from a farm in Missouri.
Right now, we are closed for the 2023 Christmas season.
In just 8 days, Mike Hafner and his team sold more than 2,100 Christmas trees, which was all he had available, ready to be chopped down. All over the nation, he says farmers are experiencing similar shortages.
A lot of the growers did not get a whole lot of growth, especially in those crucial months of May and June when those trees need to be growing and weren't receiving enough moisture. And I also do some business with a grower up in Michigan. He experienced the same thing.
This year, Hafner is downsizing his Christmas tree business to pursue a new career, which is another trend he sees creating a shortage as more growers leave the industry.
What happened in 2008, a lot of folks got out and they have not gotten back in. I can tell you it's extremely difficult in order to get a contract right now to have Fraser firs shipped.
This year it only grew about that much.
In Lenexa, George Hess estimates he has about 50 trees left on his farm that are in the proper stage to be sold off.
This year I lost somewhere in the 20 to 30 seedlings, didn't make it through the summer.
Because Christmas trees take several years to grow to the ideal height for customers, Hess believes this shortage could drag on for years.
When you compound the fact that it takes 8-10 years to grow a tree, that means, 8-10 years ago there'll be, that many less trees that'll be ready for harvest.
The U.S. Christmas tree has been blown away. High winds in Washington, D.C. knocked over the national Christmas tree 2 days before the official lighting ceremony. There were winds of about 30 miles per hour in the D.C. area all day. The tree was seen on its side in the afternoon, but according to the National Park Service, the tree lighting will go on as scheduled on Thursday. Now let's hear from weather anchor Seth Parento on tonight's conditions.
Thank you, Reagan. As we head into this evening, we are looking at a low of 39 here in Oxford with some clouds rolling in and that slight breeze of 5 miles per hour continuing. I'll have more on what we can expect throughout the next few days, so make sure to stay tuned for your forward forecast. NewsWatch Ole Miss, we'll be right back.
I was in the United States Navy, flight deck, Harry S. Truman. A veteran friend of mine took his own life with a gun. What didn't take place? What didn't happen that could have prevented that? Safely storing your weapon is important. It's your guard that you put up beforehand to ensure that if you're not in the right state of mind, you're still watching your own back. Service never stops as far as locking it up properly. Protect yourself and those around you.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss with Stormwatch. I'm Seth Parento. Well, we are looking at a current temperature of 54 degrees here in Oxford with mostly clear skies and a slight breeze around 5 miles per hour. And if we take a look across the rest of northern Mississippi, you'll be seeing temperatures consistent in the mid-50s, with Tupelo currently beating us all out at 56 degrees. And as we head into this evening, again, temperatures will be taking a little bit of a dip to a low of 39 with some clouds rolling in and that breeze remaining consistent. And then looking into tomorrow, we are looking at a high of 56 degrees with clouds staying consistent, and that breeze is actually going to be picking up. And actually, we are looking at a special weather alert for tomorrow. We are looking at a wind advisory from tomorrow night into Friday morning, starting around like 10 p.m. and into 7 a.m. Friday morning. We're looking at consistent winds of around 15 to 30 miles per hour with gusts reaching as high as 40. So make sure to stay prepared if you're going out tomorrow night. And if you take a look across the rest of northern Mississippi for tomorrow, you'll be seeing again temperatures are remaining consistent in the mid to upper 50s again, with Tupelo currently beating us all out for 59 degrees. And if you take a look at our 5-day forecast, as you will see, temperatures are looking to rise just a little bit as we head into the weekend, with Friday reaching a high of 70 degrees and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all having a chance of precipitation at 24%.
I'm so glad it's warming up a little bit. I couldn't deal with the colder weather earlier this week.
Aren't you going back to Ohio?
I am, but I want to soak up all the warm weather while I'm here.
Well, you need to be prepared. But I hope that wind isn't going to be affecting our formal that we're going to tomorrow, Campbell.
I know. I'm really hoping it lays low, but who knows?
Fingers crossed. But enough about us. What's going on in the world of sports?
Well, coming up, the Rebels men's basketball team won big last night against North Carolina State. And the women's basketball team is back in action tonight versus Louisville. I'll have that and more up next in sports.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars.
Wow.
But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Welcome back. I'm Campbell Holmes with Sports Watch. Well, the Ole Miss men's basketball team got their first shutdown win of the season as they defeated NC State last night. Senior Jamin Brakefield got his career best 25 points, along with Jalen Murray and Matthew Morrell, both adding 12 points each to the scoreboard. The Rebel defense dominated the Wolves the entire game, making them score their lowest first half field goal percentage of the season at 37.5%. The big week for the team will continue Saturday afternoon as they host the Memphis Tigers at 1. But if you're wanting to stay home and study for the upcoming exam week, you can still watch the game on ESPN2. And keeping things on the court, the women's basketball team will be battling it out with Louisville tonight in the Pavilion. This will be the second time these two teams meet in program history, and the Rebs are hoping to get revenge as they lost the last game 72-62. Rebels are hoping for some offensive dominance from star Madison Scott, who has been averaging 14 points and 11 rebounds per game. Game starts at 8:15 and will also be nationally televised on ESPNU. And 2 Ole Miss athletes have been selected for the SEC community teams, senior Maggie Miller from the volleyball team and JJ Peggs from the football team. Miller has been spending her free time at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital in Memphis, hosting live broadcast entertainment for the patients. And the senior defensive lineman has visited local elementary schools, reading to the students and engaging in their classroom activities. Both athletes are described by their coaches, family, and friends as people who embody what it truly means to be an Ole Miss Rebel, volunteering and helping out to those in need. And the NFL just underwent their 12th week of play, and some Rebels were able to get their teams some wins. Let's check on these Rebs and see how their season is going. Malik Heath had the best game of his rookie season by catching all 4 targets to go for 46 yards. Heath helped the Packers win against the Lions 29-22. Wide receiver A.J. Brown caught 5 passes for 37 yards for the Eagles as they won against the Buffalo Bills. And running back Zach Evans was seen in 3 snaps in the backfield that helped the Rams get a close win against the Seahawks. Ole Miss is so proud of these Rebs and looks forward to continue watching them this season. And that's all I've got for sports. So be sure to follow us on X at @RebelScoreWatch for the latest sports updates. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back after the break.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Welcome back to NewsWatch. Almost every week we introduce a new item to hit the shelves.
And this next item is very unique. Miller Lite debuts its new beer cracker for the holiday season. The nutcracker shown on the screen is actually 2 beer openers in one in the mouth and the other in his removable hat.
The new beer crackers are on sale through December 1st for $30 on Miller Lite's website. Well, guys, this is our last Wednesday show of the semester. How are we feeling?
I'm really sad. I am really sad, but I will say by far this has been my favorite semester at NewsWatch because of y'all.
Oh my God, yeah.
For real.
All of you, such amazing coworkers. This has been, out of my now 4 separate teams in NewsWatch, this is by far my favorite.
I'm gonna miss you guys so much.
I know, 6 weeks way too long.
This is my first semester in college, and you guys have made Ole Miss feel like home.
Oh, thank you. Oh, so you actually do like each other.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. For the last time this semester, I'm Alexia Anderchek.
And I'm Reagan Settle with your latest news.
I'm Campbell Holmes with Sports Watch.
And with Stormwatch, I'm Seth Parento.
Be sure to keep up with us on our socials and tune in tomorrow at 5. Happy holidays. NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.